Yeah.
I have a story I've been wanting to tell you guys ever since the moment it happened, and I had no appreciative audience. And that's when I was flying to Dallas, Fort Worth for QuakeCon last week. And on the way there, a guy in the middle seat is a 74-year-old guy, and he's like taking up my armrest. And at first I was like, oh, like this is going to be fairly horrible. Thank God it's not that long of a flight. And then we start talking, and he says, you know what? He basically portrayed himself as like, you're sitting next to like a pillar of wisdom, and it's going to be idiotic of you to sit here and not like learn from me. So I was like, fuck it then, I'm going to learn right now. So I started talking to him, but then I started to regret that because he was spitting on me the whole time. So I took my blanket and put that over my arms. So the important thing here is I want to say he was a 74-year-old black man, and the only reason that the detail of there matters is because you have certain assumptions about the kind of conversations you're going to have with people. It's very natural when you sit down with someone. This is going to be the range of our discussion. And in his case, I was just thinking like, he's going to be thinking that the world has gone to hell in a handbasket, very much like my dad, he did. But in between all the insanity, in between him telling me that I would be stupid to marry a woman who's not 9 years my younger because I'm going to continue to get hard-ons and want sex, and that she's going to dry up and hit menopause and all this other detail. Then it turns out he starts talking about playing pogo, playing chess online. And so I was like, okay, listening to him, and he's way into chess, and the next thing he says, he's like, I go on there, and there's a lot of really good people. He's like, and they talk a lot of trash sometimes. And he's like, so what I do to those fuckers? He's like, I turn on that pogo, and I turn on this other computer I have, and it's got Chessmaster 3000 on it.
Oh my God.
And these guys, then I start talking shit on them. They put in a move. He's like, I put the move in the Chessmaster. Chessmaster puts out the move, I put it back in on them. And he's like, they start screaming at me and yelling.
Oh my God.
He's a 74-year-old chess troll?
Yeah, dude.
Holy shit.
And I was like,
That's
I was
awesome.
cracking up, and like, I was like, that's totally amazing. But I couldn't tell him, like, I couldn't say, well, you know what? I pretty much I totally condone this because I do the equivalent of it. It just wouldn't, I could tell. I mentioned, I was like, well, that's funny because I work in games and stuff, and I could tell right away, it just wouldn't register. So I was like, that's a great story, man. But so that was pretty cool to find a 74-year-old griefer on my flight.
That's a great idea, actually.
And he tells
Never
people
thought of doing that.
He plays so much, and he tries. It's just it shows you how universal this thing is, right? In RTSs, we always talk about Smurf accounts. You go in and you don't want to have stats that say you played 10,000 games because no one's going to join you unless they played 20,000 and they'll kick your ass. So he has these really high stats, but he doesn't know how to make a new account or whatever the way it works. So what he does is he goes in and he tells people that he's playing in prison and that everyone in the prison shares the same account, shares the same fucking computer.
What an elaborate story.
That's hilarious.
Awesome.
He's a determined 70-year-old griefer.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, I was like, I'm like, I think that's wonderful, man. That you're using your brain like that, and that you're on. You're not deterred from playing online games and.
But that kind of crap is rampant. I mean, in online poker, it's like a serious problem. You get 4 people who are colluding in instant messenger.
Yeah.
Right.
Happens all the time.
I'm not surprised. I mean, even in the most casual shit I've played, like Yahoo Cribbage and Ticket to Ride is another one, back when that was just an free online game. There was as much griefing and people yelling and arguing in chat as in Counter-Strike.
Yeah,
it was amazing to me.
Yeah,
I remember being ganged up on by 2 dudes in Ticket to Ride. And this is the most casual fucking game. I just was on it just to waste time, and I realized after a while that these 2 guys were totally teaming up against me behind my back.
But it's a game about railroad tycoons, right?
But it's every man for himself.
Very accurate.
It's not a team thing.
But even if it's same thing with the real tycoons. I mean, on the face of it, it's every man for himself.
They're just following.
So they were
the
following the spirit of the 19th
realism.
century railroad barons. Yeah, is that what you're saying? Yeah. So therefore, it's not griefing.
Yeah,
You just need a Teddy Roosevelt to show up.
Yeah.
Yeah.